Good morning. Welcome to the Frazzlog. Obviously, it's the Frazzlog. Obviously, saw that. But what's up, man? It's May 8th. Yes, it's Wednesday, May 8th. I'm in a cocoa mood. I gotta say, I really am. Ah, that one's hot though. But yeah, what's going on, dude? We got a little bit to talk about, not too much, but we do have stuff to talk about. Starting first, I think we should probably clear the air. Oh no, music's a little first, well, first off, let me just mention I'm eating an onion bagel. It's got cream cheese, of course. Now there. So we've got that. That's out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. Also, tonight's beverage is Swiss mix, Swiss something, hot chocolate. It's good. Very good stuff. Yeah, let's start off with what I just finished. Batman Beyond, the animated series following the Batman and Robin animated show, I think it's called. Or just maybe Batman Animated Adventures or whatever. But yeah, it takes place I want to say 40 years after the Batman animated show or so. This is like future Gotham. This is like late into the timeline. Flying cars everywhere. You know the whole deal. Laser guns and such. Basically, Batman's been retired for years, 30 years or so, and pretty much this kid named Terry is introduced, and his father gets killed. He wasn't at home when it happened, so he blames himself for it, and he basically stumbles upon Batman, and he's like helping Batman out and all that. Bruce Wayne at this point. He ends up finding the Batcave by accident, and then after his father gets murdered, he wants revenge, so he goes to Batman, and they work a deal out, so he becomes the new Batman, and all that such. A bunch of villains throughout the show. I don't want to say they invent too many villains, but they reuse a lot of them. A couple more than others. For example, I'm trying to think. The one that they go back to a lot, he's kind of like a minor villain, just like a comic relief villain, is he's this guy that uses bombs. I forget what he's a terrorist. He's like a patriot, but he's like, fuck the media, fuck, his name's Stan, I think his name's Stan, something like that. He doesn't like the way how humans are like using technology, and their bodies are weak now because they've been using technology. And, there's like him. There's like Ink, which is like this girl who can like turn into like ink essentially and like manipulate her body and shaped and stuff. The show actually starts off with a primary antagonist. His name is oh god, what the hell was his bad guy's name? I remember all the villains. Blight, that's his name, Blight. Blight's kind of like the main guy they're setting up. He basically runs Wayne Enterprise. He's the this current CEO and all that, and he's the first villain for Batman. This is the guy that set up the assassin to kill Batman's father, Terry's father, and basically when he's trying to escape, Terry ends up basically getting him infected, and he becomes this like radioactive villain guy who can like shoot plasma balls, and he's a pretty cool guy. They kill him off in season 1 though. He comes back I think once in season 2, just 3 seasons, but they don't really do much with him. I thought he would have been a cool villain, and he was really the most not evil, but he's pretty evil. Other villains, there's like the what the hell are they called? They're like named after cards. The family. What the fuck were they called? The Royal Flush Gang. That's it. They're in there quite a bit. They're basically dressed up in white and black costumes, and they're card related. So there's like the king and the queen and all that. They use them quite a bit. They're like robbers. I mean, I don't know. There's some cool villains in there. There's some bad ones, but I'm trying to think of my favorite villain. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite villain, I guess. My favorite episode, though, they have a Ra's al Ghul episode, where basically, why do I always forget that name? The girl that's related to Ra's al Ghul, his daughter, she shows up in Batman's cave, and Batman just turned 80 or 90 or some shit. And, she's like, "All right, Bruce, you're feeling old. Do you want to use the Lazarus pool or whatever to basically give you immortality and become young again?" And he's at this point, Bruce Wayne is already feeling old and decrepit, and he can't do shit pretty much anymore. So he ends up caving and having a moment of weakness, and he goes through with it. He becomes young again, which was really cool. And then ultimately that was just a scam to get... Basically, Ra's was gonna, like, take his brainwaves and put them in Batman and something like that. It was a really cool episode, though. There was that one, and then there's Justice League comes in one of the episodes, which was really awesome. I don't know, there's a bunch of cool episodes. But like with every comic book show, it's not... There is no start and end. It's just kind of like in-between stuff. You know, it does start, but it doesn't end. So everything after that is basically just miscellaneous villains. There's no real development. I mean, sure, we learn more about the characters, but that doesn't do anything unless you go somewhere with the characters. Like, fucking... Terry, for example. Okay, from what we know, he's a juvenile delinquent. He didn't go to prison, but he went to juvie for a while. And then he basically becomes Batman to, like, redeem himself in his own way. You know? But, okay, he's Batman. He fights bad guys, he's a good guy, his morals are really good. He doesn't kill people, okay? But why? Like, he doesn't gain any new abilities throughout the show. Which is precisely why I like anime so much more. You know, anime has a start and a conclusion. Of course, throughout the series, we learn stuff. We see stuff happen. New villains come into picture. Some old villains might come back. Whereas comic books, they constantly always rely on villains, the same villains. And I don't really like that. So, I don't know. You may be wondering, well, Frazzleberry, what is the best animated comic book series? And I'm like, you know what, guy? I'll tell you. It's X-Men Evolution. That is hands down the best comic book cartoon out there. You know, it has its really serious moments, it has its really comedic moments, and it actually starts somewhere. So they start building up the cast of the X-Men. There's inevitably a huge threat, and it pretty much concludes, which is what a show should do. Alright? And then they did kind of like a sequel show. Was it a sequel? Wolverine and the X-Men? I think it might be considered a sequel. I don't know. Fuck comic books, though. There's so much complication, like reboot here and reboot there. Oh, the series just turned 50 years. Let's just restart it completely. Like, no, dude. Like, look at One Piece. One Piece, prime example. That shit makes you feel something. You're not gonna feel something from watching Spider-Man, the animated show. Like, come on, dude. And that show had like 8-part episodes that just... It's eye candy. It's just kid eye candy, you know. Which One Piece, it's not an adult show, but it's got mature content and it goes somewhere, you know. But Batman Beyond, it's a good cartoon, I guess you could say. If I was gonna rate it out of a 1 through 3, I'd give it a 1.5 or 2. You know, I didn't really... The action was good and everything, but the story wasn't really anything interesting. And it was pretty dark, though, which was pretty cool. I'll give it credit for that. They actually talk about death and stuff and kill some characters and stuff like that. Could have had more crossovers, I think, personally. But, yeah, it's a pretty good show. So if you like Batman, definitely check it out. It's pretty cool to see Batman passing the torch on to someone new and all that. And with that, I'm going to go make a weird sound in 1 second. Wait, 9...